So we should have moved the little turn marker into 62. Hey, and we're already a fifth of the way through the game. Yay. Yeah, that's actually my worry, is that the game's going to run so fast. Saw some people complaining about it being a slow game. I don't see it. Alright, so the next thing we do is we're dealing with the Union action. Now, like I said, to me it feels almost as if the blockade cards should randomize a little bit more. But let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what we got last time, right? No, we're only -4. We're going to be drawing 8 cards. And we've got 2 ports that get invaded. Uh-oh. I'll come back after we resolve those. Confederate ports fell. Brownsville. We had Jacksonville already, and New Bern. I noticed that I had taken away the squadron marker. I shouldn't do that. These are going to be a problem in terms of being a noose that the Confederates have to evade if they're trying to run along the coast. That's not generally a wise idea, but anyway. Okay, so the next action for the Union is going to be inland city capture. Now I think we only have 1 inland city capture. We don't get 2 until we get way down there. And in order to do this, we roll our 2 dice over on this chart. And something has to go. 11. It's going to be Decatur. Okay, now what's kind of weird there is, bang, that's just gone. That seems a little odd that, you know, we would hit down here and not have made any of the headway before that. There's no rules for that, though, and you could see the Union could conceivably take this through river action or whatever, but it is a little odd to consider bypassing some of the major cities along the way. It seems to me like you would really have to take Nashville in order to supply for the most part. Now, you do have a river running here that they could supply off of, but some of the things, you know, like if Atlanta or something goes, man, that would be totally unbelievable. If you've ever played some of the Civil War strategic games, especially Civil War there, you would realize how kind of ludicrous it is to launch an attack on Atlanta on its own. But hey, you know, that kind of randomizes things. Now I have to worry about the High Sea Squadron. I roll 1 die on that chart and move it. To one of these places. And we get a 4, that's going to be St. George. St. George. I don't know where the hell that is. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know where it is. Oh, it's up here in Bermuda. Okay. Now, each ship attempting to move in, out, or through that zone is going to have to roll 1 die. Huh. What do you mean roll 1? It says roll once. I think that's going to mean it has to make a speed roll to get in and out of there, just like normal, which is the 2 dice that you normally roll, as though it's a blockade. That would be my estimation on that. So, where do we go from there? We go to commodity management. Prices go down by 1 each. 2 if no one delivered any. Well, no one delivered. Up. No one delivered any black market goods. So they're going up to 24 and becoming more of a value. Cotton's going up to 9. Tobacco's going back up to 16. And we refill the commodities. So where the Union hasn't taken control yet. We're going to fill all these boxes. Decatur, for example, well, that box has been taken. Jacksonville, that box has been taken. But I'll fill out the rest of them, including these suckers here. Hopefully I have enough pieces. There's a lot of war material pieces, so you probably don't run out even if you deliver a lot there. For player order, everybody's still got the same shipping capacity that they had on the first turn. Nobody bought a ship, for better or worse. And that means, not that it's random, whoever has the least money is going to go first. I have to worry about this though. Red, I'm going to give them a little red cube, because that's going to indicate that they get a 5th action. That's really the only effect of all of this. And I have to remember that. And that's kind of a nice factor. They can play an extra card, or maybe sail a little further or whatever. So that's sweet. But otherwise, I'm going to set these. And whoever has the least money, well, that's going to be good old green here, right? It looks like they should have $3,000. I'm having trouble reading the things. So they would be going first, and I'm not sure who the next is. This guy only looks like he has, well, he has 21. I don't know. I'll have to count. I know there's people under 20. Okay, so poor green with their very little money has to go first. And let's see what they have for cards. They have a Rebel Raider, Ironclad, and Fort Beauregard, Quebec's Beaufort. Well, I'm going to need to move here to unload, but first I need to find me. Where's more green? I think this is green up here. I can't really see. So I want to load those, but I don't have money. Shit, here's the problem, right? So I have to deliver to load. I got $1,000. I could pull one in. I could rail another. Oh, I only can carry one. Alright, I guess I'm gonna pull cotton to save myself action. So for $1,000, I load up my cotton. Now I'm gonna move. And I move here, no problem there. I'm gonna try to move out of here. I have a speed of 3. I could have gotten rid of the thing. Oh shit, where did I put my cards? Okay, before I move, maybe before I load, I'm gonna play this Rebel Raider card. And what have I done? Where's my empty deck? Where's my discards? Uh-oh. Well, I guess nobody played a discard. So I'm gonna play the Rebel Raider. That puts $5,000 in here. I try to get this stupid thing back in. I'm gonna delete this ship. That'll let me get out of there for free. That's one action. Second action was to load up. Third action is to move, but I get a card for my hand, and third action was to move. So I move here, and I'm going to move here. Unfortunately, I'm sailing into here, and I got to make a risk at this. I've got a 3 versus a 1. I don't have the advantage of the port on my side. I probably don't want to do this. I gotta take the risks because I'm doing so poorly from that early start. And I lose my ship. And this is bad because I have nothing to back it up. So there goes the Anglia, and I think it's just gone from the game. There isn't anything that states one way or another about that. And we'll put the card box somewhere. Okay, so that was pretty terrible. So now I'm gonna sell my 2 cotton, and I get 18,000 bucks for that, and that's pretty much my turn. Oh, I could have spent to improve something. Now I couldn't have taken down the High Seas Fleet, I don't believe. It talks here about blockading squadrons, not the High Sea Fleet. So I would not have been safe there. And that's kind of problematic. Okay. We have a drop in price here because a 3rd cotton was delivered. And we had a failure of a turn, basically. Let's move on. Red here is in an interesting position. They have the extra action, the 5th action. They can load up. They're going to have to rail. So that's 2 actions. 3 to move. And I can get them there. And then 4 to unload. 5th action can be a card. Now, I think the best thing to do is to avoid losing a ship. My chance of losing a ship here, though, at Savannah, it's still fairly high. So, I'm going to play an ironclad. I could have bought another ship. That was the alternative there. So if I play an ironclad, I put 5,000 bucks in here. I guess I draw another card right away. Yay. And that gets rid of this. And now I could upgrade. With my ships running through here, the upgrade of Savannah does not seem at all a bad idea. It's a 2 going to a 3. I've got 15,000 because green left cash in there that maybe they shouldn't have. So Savannah's going to go up to a 3 as we improve that. Okay, so that's my first action. Second action is going to be a rail action. I might want a tobacco. Let's see. Tobacco cost me 4, 5, 6,000 bucks. 6,000 bucks in order to make 16 versus I have to rail. That's going to cost me 2 for the second one of those. That'll only make 8. So I'm going to make more money if I take that, and I have enough cash on hand to buy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rail this, and no, I don't want to rail more than I have to. So I'm going to rail this for 6,000, 7,000 bucks. And now's the question of, do I want to haul one of these? I don't think so. This will make me 19,000 bucks if I buy it. So my 7,000 plus 5 cost me 12,000 bucks. And that's most of my money. But I'm going to turn it around this turn because I've got the black market. So I've played a card, I've railed, I've loaded, now I move. I can move into Savannah without a problem. I can move into here, and now I unload. And from unloading, I make 5,000 left because I didn't bring any war materials in. So I make 19, 27, 37, 43,000 bucks. Sweet, huh? Unfortunately, I don't have another action to buy a ship or anything with, but 43,000 bucks into hand. Let's ignore green, who got themselves behind the 8-ball on the first turn of the game by setting up poorly. Hey, everybody screws up now and then, right? And I never liked green anyways, and no good. Black has a really interesting problem here. He's got the High Seas Fleet here. Now he could stay in St. George, and it'll probably be gone next turn. But that means a turn without income. At the same from that ship at least. At the same time, he's sitting here with the Caribe, which can only carry one good, and he could sail easily into the Bahamas with that. Now, of course, he could sail into the Bahamas. He could pick up, sail, drop off. That's 3 actions. 4th action would be another pickup, but then, you know, I mean, he could buy some stuff here and just not set sail with it. Alternatively, he could try to run that blockade. And if he does the running the blockade, it would be, say, play a card to improve his chances, do a pickup, do a move. Does he have a safe place to move? I mean, that's one of the problems. If he can move diagonally, and that's not clear in the rules, I'm playing that you can't. He could get into Norfolk, which is a nice safe place, but he's not that fast. However, if he could improve his speed, and indeed he has a captain and he has an insurance. Both are interesting cards. I'm going to play the captain over on the Prentice. Why am I doing this? Why am I taking this risk? There aren't a lot of turns. I want to be able to be in the running, and losing because of this, because I delay a turn, because I'm too chicken, whereas somebody else might just get lucky, somebody like Red, who's having a fine game so far, I just can't afford to let him get ahead, so I've got to take the risk here, in my view. Some people might not want to take that risk. I know a lot of people probably would hate this game because of the amount of kind of high-risk luck that's involved in it, but from my point of view, it's a short enough, fast enough little game that's just sort of a tension. There's a push your luck element to it and all that, where it's just sort of the nature of the game, and you accept that or you don't. Some people will hate it, but I'm cool with it. And some of the modifications that have been offered, you know, like, hey, your ship's damaged, just, you know, you have to pay a few thousand to repair it and you lose a turn with it. It can be pretty harsh too. Or I know one person suggests using 3 dice instead of 2 as an option. I say bullshit to those, because this is so far looking like a kind of cool little simulation, at least of the blockade running itself, even if some of the stuff here and maybe the actual placement of the blockade is a little more random than it should be. Hey, whatever. By the way, I'm covering these up to indicate that the Confederates no longer have naval support there of any type, no port defenses or anything. That's again not covered in the rules, but it seems pretty intuitive that they shouldn't have that. It doesn't matter which way you play it, I guess, unless you want some accuracy, which of course I require. Okay, so first action was to play the card. We got the 5,000 bucks in there, and I get another card. Ooh, without requiring a... Well, that's sweet. But I don't want to play that now. I need to load, sail, and unload, and that takes my actions up. So I owe 1,000 bucks here. These suckers at 19 each are pretty good. I'm gonna grab 11,000 bucks worth. We're gonna risk it all here, right? We spent 11,000. That's 1. 10 more back. Hey, it's like, you know, in stocks and bonds, you gotta buy Striker, right? I don't know. I like playing high risk, and it forces everybody else into my game or into their own game, and just hoping that I crash and burn. Okay. Now the movement. 1, 2. I'm coming out of here. So I have a 3, 6, make it a 5. 5s are good. And one of the dice is lower. So I make it out and lose my smokestack. I saw something about a smokestack recall. Apparently My copy didn't get that. It was free, what do I? Can't really complain too much about that. Okay, what about this guy? Well, he has to sail out. So he's sailing out. I don't know where he's going yet, but he's got a speed of 3. -1 means I need 2s. And this is where it gets risky. Okay, I got a 2 or less, so I am safe. So now my speed of 3, I don't really know if I want to risk it too much more. Do I just want to go up to Norfolk? Why not? 1, 2, 3. We get in there for safe. Okay. So now, the last action, we get to unload. We unload a cotton for 8,000. And 2 of these at 19,000 each. -5, right? So 38 and 8 is 46,000 for me. And then we're going to see a decrease in price on the black market. Here's the next player, and he has kind of a neat setup already. He's set up with the Jenny, who could pick up 1 black market and 1 war good. Hey, no penalty for the black market being sold, right? He could also, and so far that cost him 5,000. He's got the Franklin here, pick up another 1,000, 6,000. Or if he wanted to rail, but that's going to cost him an action, he could pull the tobacco out of New Orleans. Okay. So now we're at 6,000 bucks. Wow, we have like 20-something thousand. We're all set up. We could buy another ship. If we bought another ship, one of the things that looked really appealing to me was, hey, start at Galveston, and then I can run 2 ships swapping in and out of here. But I would like a little bit more speed on my other ship. My other ship would be running a 2-space run, but I'd still like a 3-speed for it, and I could haul 2 goods with it, and that sounds pretty good. And conceivably, you know, maybe I could get to here or something eventually. Alternatively, I could start here and haul some black market goods into Pensacola, and hey, that sounds good too. But here's the problem. The ships go up in price very quickly. This piece of crap I can buy for 8,000 bucks, no biggie. The next cheapest ship is a 20,000 buck, 3 capacity, 2 speed ship. That's not what I want. I want a 2 capacity, 3 speed. That's 25,000. I just don't have that kind of cash. I can't take loans or anything like that. So, I don't think I really want to buy a little cheap-ass ship that can run a 2-1, do I? I can upgrade it later, but I don't have anything. I've got a card that allows me to upgrade, basically, this refitting. I could upgrade one of my ships now to the 3-2. I don't know what happens to the ship that I upgrade. Does it get discarded? It says trade. I don't know. Probably stays alive. But that would put the Memphis available for 12,000 bucks, which is an amount I could actually afford, and then build that. The problem is, if I play a card, then I've used that extra action. Basically, I have an action to pick up goods, move, sell goods. I got one more action left. And that one more action, if it's the card, well, then I can't rail goods into place. So it doesn't really do me any good for that. I could buy an even faster ship. This thing wouldn't be moving as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off. Question is, do I have a card that I really want to play right now? And I really don't. I don't want to put a bid in on a piece of shit ship that I really can't get. I could build something here, and it would be able to move immediately. Alright, we'll try that. So we're going to put up, I don't know, the Flora for sale at 8,000. And we'll put a bid in on it that. And everybody else is able to bid in on it. If I can't get the Flora, I can keep putting ships up at that 8,000. There are, I think, 3 of these available. No, there's more than 3. There's a whole pile of them available. So I'll be able to get, you know, one of those, and maybe I'll be draining other people's money. If I do so, hey, that's terrible, you know. The only problem with me doing this is I'm kind of using an action. If I want to pay a little more than 8,000, I could, because I'm paying 5, 6, 7,000 to grab my goods. That's this money. I've got up to 15, so I can pay a little bit more than 8 and maybe outbid other people. But I'm willing to start it at 8 and see if anybody really wants it. Okay, well, blue bid 9 on it, and then white bid 10, and nobody was willing to go up any higher than that. It's kind of the, hey, anybody else who buys, you know, basically blue figures I'm going to get another shot at this. So what is that? That's the Flora. Nope. There it is. And where do I want to put the Flora? So I do not want it where yellow wanted it, which was down here in Pensacola. But I have to find a place where it's got a run that's reasonable. There's a reasonable run coming out of Havana. I'm already picking stuff up out of there. Up here, a 2-ship isn't terribly useful. Over here, coming out of Savannah, might be good. White gets a turn this turn. I think my best place is out of Nassau, because I can sail into Savannah from there. So now I've paid the money, grabbed that ship, and now yellow gets another shot at putting another one of these suckers up, and they'll do so at 8,000 again. Although they may go to 9 to see if they can make blue either pay 10 for it or bail out and they get the thing cheaper. That sounds like a good deal. Let's see if blue's willing to go. Blue's willing to go to 10. I'll let them buy, what is this, the Chicory for 10,000. The number of people who can run these kind of crappy ships is decreasing. I mean, there's only so much room for them. And let's look at where blue is operating and whether they have cards that help them. They have a submarine. Pensacola. If I place in Pensacola, I'm probably not going to be able to get it to there. But if I place it here, I'll be able to get there. So there goes that. And now yellow's going to put it up for 8 again, and I don't think anybody wants to buy it for 8. These guys have all gotten their turn already, and they're really not sure what one of those ships is going to do for them. For the 8,000 for the ship, I spend 7,000 loading up my stuff. Now what have I done? I bought a ship, I've loaded, no rail there. Now I move, and then I dump. And we don't move this ship. We move. Oops, there goes his smokestack. Something has to be done about these things. Maybe I can fit a different one in. Okay. Oh, this was not in Franklin, was it? I thought this sucker was in Galveston. Okay, well, 1, 2, 3, we move over here. And him, 1, 2. No, he was in Franklin. And now we're going to deliver 2 cotton for 16. 17 as we pay one of these off, and we get the full for this, so 39, and then we got some price decreases. So we're going to get 39,000. This goes down. And this goes down. We'll pay that out. And he's done with his turn. For blue, he's got a slightly risky run coming out of Wilmington here. I don't have a card that can destroy Wilmington, but I do have one that can add to the port defense. So I'm going to play that. That's 5,000 here. We'll use that as well. But by raising a 3 to a 4, we're getting good pay off that. Now, for us $10,000, we take out of here. And we're going to add to Beaufort because we have a decent number of ships kicking around here now. Yeah, this isn't ours. Oh well. But the other option would be to put Pensacola. We can't improve, so we'll just piece of garbage. Okay. So now I'm going to pick up my goods. Now I don't have a whole hell of a lot of money, and I need a card. Oh. Well, that could be helpful. I don't have a whole hell of a lot of money in hand because I bought that ship. So I have $14,000. That's not enough to say load these all up with black market goods. But it is enough for 9. Give me one of these. Yeah, more crap. Did I say I have 14? I do, don't I? So that was 4, 9. All right. 14. All my money. And then we're going to run that. We're a 7, 6. That's pretty likely. And we can go 1. Oh shit. Yeah, son of a bitch. I thought I could make it here. I didn't see this line here. 1. I don't want to run that. Alright, we'll set out with our tobacco here. This ship only has a 2. 1, 2 has to pull into there. Thought I was going to deliver a whole bunch of stuff. And this one, 2 into there. Alright, we kind of got that one to stay. Okay. Now I'm going to sell a black market at penalty, which is worth 15, and one not at penalty, so I'm worth 35, make it 36,000 for the delivery. And I'm stuck with a ship still out here, but that's okay. And you know, if other people are making money off this shit, maybe I need to too. We're looking at white here. White's all set up for decent runs, I believe. I have $17,000. 10, 15, rail, 16, 17. Yay. Knock them all down. There goes my money. And now I can sail. I don't know how fast things go. I don't know if I have cards. The Orleans has a card on it. This thing, it's got to be able to go 2. This thing, it's got to be able to go 2. This actually could go 3. Is there somewhere better I could go? Yeah. Okay. And this thing, yeah, we're clustering here into one port. Now, we're paying fines on these. Oops, this should have gone down one. We're paying fines on the black market goods, on all of them, because all of our ships are loading with them. But that's 14 each. 3 14s is 42,000. Oop, one goes back. And make it 49,000. That's a pretty good payout, eh? And nobody's caring about helping the Confederacy win the war. Well, everybody felt that they needed to make money last turn. And once somebody starts doing it, it's kind of hard. I mean, you're in competition for the cash here. It's kind of hard not to follow suit. So, we didn't have a lot of war goods delivered. What that means is we're going to see 11 cards from the blockade deck. What is it? 11 cards, 3 port attacks, 2 inland city attacks, and of course our one little partridge and a pear tree over there. It's increase everywhere. I had a temporary problem which was resolved, which was that I ran out of 1-point counters, so I had to temporarily mark that with something else. We lost, let's see, New Bern was already lost. I think we lost Beaumont this time. New Orleans there was an assault on, but it didn't get big enough, so we didn't use that. And now we go to what? 2 inland cities, and these must fall. So we get an 11, and that's Decatur. We already hit Decatur, so we roll again. That's what I mean by must fall. A 9 is Houston. It would be kind of nice. See, I want to block both the rail and this. In this case, nobody's going to rail to Houston, so I'm going to cover that. But in general, I find myself trying to cover both, and it's a little hard to do. I'm not quite sure how. Maybe bigger counters would work. I don't know. Uh, 12 Humboldt. There. And that's certainly believable. Okay. And now the last thing is we roll a die for where the surface fleet ends up. And this is a big random thing. It goes to Port-au-Prince. And the reason it's a big thing is wherever it goes, it screws whoever's sitting there. And it's pretty bad because you don't have any Confederate defenses. Even with just a 1, you need a pretty fast ship to get away safely. But then on top of that, it can also, cause some dislocations of plans. But the biggie is really if it lands on top of you. You can stay in port and avoid it. That's the best you can do, I guess. Commodity management. Ow. You know what's a pain in the ass here? Is if I clear all these out, I may not remember that I sold some the turn before. In this case, we don't have a real problem. Prices all go up by 1. Tobacco is beginning to look more and more impressive as a selling good, just because the cotton's so low. And the black market's looking less impressive. 2 people have the bonus. Hey, that becomes a really big bonus. You got that off of one little carton of war goods, and now you've got an extra move, an extra action. And actions are something that you're always looking for more of. They're pretty big. You can do just about anything. You know, you can do them twice or whatever. So if you want to move further or something like that, you can take an extra action for that. Last time turn order wasn't an automatic thing, but this time it gets a little more interesting because it's based on the tonnage and or the cargo capacity that you can carry, right? Yeah. We don't worry about the speed of the ships. So this guy has a total cargo capacity of 2, and he wins. Most have, well, most actually have upgraded to a 6th point of capacity, or a 4th point of capacity, I'm sorry. But we have 2 here, and the tiebreaker comes down to money for these 2. This guy has 56,000. This guy has, looks like more. So we put black next, then red. It's a weird kind of thing. I'm not sure. You know, jockeying to come out with a little less money puts you behind the victory conditions. Buying more ships can get you ahead, but overall, the ships that were bought might have actually put people behind, and I'll figure out the tail end there, and then get started on the turns. This green goes first, and honestly, I can't see people not taking the advantage of making money early. They grabbed themselves 2 black market goods for 10,000 bucks. Now, granted, they're only going to make 14,000 each on them, but that's better than $2,000 here. So that's first action. They only have 1 ship. Second action, 1. We're running out of safe places to go. We'll sail into Charleston for 2. We're going to have to try to run the guns there. Did we have a card that would help us? We could play that first. Okay, so if we pick up, move, sell, and play a card, that works for me. Fort Beauregard. Alright, we're gonna crush an Atlantic squadron here with the ironclad. That put $5,000 in the fund and gets us another card. And that ain't the card we want. Okay. So that was card, pickup, move. We don't have to make the roll. Card, pickup, move, sell. We drop 2 of these off. And we get 38,000 bucks. And I dropped 1 in instead of 2, and this goes down 1. Not 38,000. We get 28,000. Because we lose 10,000. 2 $5,000 hits on the black market. And this crack is confusing me here. I don't like these kind of boards. And I shouldn't have gone into Bristol. I should have gone into Savannah. I think, goddamn pieces of crap. But I don't want to go into Savannah because everybody's there. So yeah. Well, Savannah it is, and I move this over here, and we have garbage all over the place. Okay. And now we're on the black, which looks almost like the green, and they have picked up goods, moved, ready to deliver. I think I want to get an insurance in play. Does seem like a good idea. That's 10,000. 10,000 doesn't help me a whole hell of a lot. I could improve Fort Lauderdale. The Bristol doesn't have any speed, does it? Because the Prentice here has speed. That's the bonus. So yeah, I want an insurance, and I get a card. And then I guess I'll drop off my goods. Oh, no, I'm looking for a place I can sail this guy. Now, this guy has a 3 movement. I'd rather not crowd into the same damn place as everyone else. Do I want to take a chance with Charleston? I have a 3, 6, 5. Fives have been pretty good. I'll do that. These damn little smokestacks absolutely ruined the game for me. Okay, so I succeed in getting in there, and now I'll sell my goods there. And again, I'm slipping in and only getting 13 for the black market, but that's okay. It's still a lot more than 1,000. And of course, nobody's doing anything for this because, well, the profit motive's in play here. The game is about getting the most money. And it doesn't really help you to deliver war goods if you're not going to make a lot of money off them. And that's the one problem I have with it. That semi-co-op nature, there's not really a strong flavor for the players. There's not really a strong reason within the competitive nature of the game for the players to really follow that. Is that terrible? No, it's kind of cool, but except that the option of these becomes kind of an option of last resort. Okay, now that the Bahamas is empty, instead of taking a move action first, I'm probably going to load this up, take a couple war goods, and try to get them in. I get a couple $1,000s. I get a bonus towards getting the extra action next turn. So that's probably worthwhile rather than taking another move action to pick up some black market goods. No, I don't know. It's hard to tell because the difference in money is so great. In all games with cards, sometimes there are good cards, sometimes there are bad cards. Red is going to open up. Now, picking these up is kind of cool too because it means he doesn't have to pay money for them. Paying money always kind of sucks. He's got the Harmony here. He's going to pick up, you know, a Cotton for 1,000 because he's going to play a card that's... Oh, he's got an extra action. He could actually spend the extra to rail, but he's a little short on cash right now. So he's going to play a private launch. Puts another 5 in here. That'll allow us to upgrade something to a 3. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I'd want a 3. Okay. But the biggie there is I can buy the Flamingo here, which is a 3 capacity, 4 speed ship. That sounds pretty damn sweet. If I can only find it. For 40,000 bucks. Now, of course, I gotta figure out where I want to load this. Cash that I'm hauling right now, these guys don't cost me anything. This guy's going to cost me $1,000. There's my 40. So I've got another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000 left to buy stuff. I've got 3 holds. Yeah, New Orleans would be interesting. But I can't haul all of that. I could haul out of a place like here, grab 1 black market and some other goods. I'm not going to make the kind of money I'd like off of that. New Orleans would be sweet. Charleston actually looks pretty good. So why don't we launch this sucker in Charleston? Now that was one of our actions to buy that. But we're not done. We get a card, which we have the option to do one more thing, right? But we have 15,000 bucks here. Charleston's defended at 3. I'm looking if there's another 3. I'm so focused on the East Coast here. I'm gonna boost Georgetown to a 3 as well. Just increase the defenses along those big eastern areas. Now, I've used up one of my actions there. I want to load. That's going to cost me 4, 5, 6. Look at that. 7,000. And I get these for free. 7,000's easy to spend. Okay. That's 2 actions. See, I've got 3 more. I can move, unload, and you know what I could do? I could actually load up again for next turn. Or I could play one of my cards. Now I have an ironclad. I'm trying to slip out of there. I think I'd rather not take any risks. Why should I do that? That puts another 5,000 in the bank. Gets me another card. So that's my second. And now I'm going to be doing moving and delivery. My delivery, let's see. This guy's got a movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like going up there. Not really enough room for these ships, especially when if you touch one, it falls apart. What a piece of fucking garbage. Okay, and then this is only a 2-speed, the Lizzie. I've got to check, does it have anything? So I've got to go into whatever this is here. Savannah. I can't read, yeah. Gotta go into Savannah. And now my sales. I'm gonna be selling a cotton for 7, 14, 21, and a tobacco puts me to 37, and then it puts me up to 39, which is not a bad payout. It's not as much as I would have hoped given that I have a new ship, but I'm carrying some more goods, you know. Blue here is in an interesting position. They have the other extra turn marker. What they're going to do is they're going to deliver, let's see, what are we hauling here? This is a 3 ship. 1, yeah, I can get into there. I'm thinking I can grab a black market where nobody else is going to be likely to go. Okay, but what I'm thinking is I want to do a rail run. Now, let's see what my markers are. Yeah. Okay. So I have this ship here. I could haul by rail something out of Chattanooga, and that would cost me $6,000 to buy. I think I have a decent amount of money, I hope. Not as much as I had hoped. 6,000. The Bristol, make it 12,000. And I guess I'll take a cotton for 13,000. I don't. Oh, I have to rail that too. Make it 14,000. So that's going to cost me most of my money to drop. I don't have a lot of money because I have this tobacco on board I haven't delivered. So yeah, let's load up and let's deliver that good. We're railing because we have an extra action and the tobacco is worth more. That seems to make sense at this point to spend an action on the rail as well as the loading. Played a fog cover over here on the Chicory because that's going to have to run a blockade, and that's going to give it an extra point, or actually 2 extra points. That's nice. And I bought up Fort Lauderdale a little bit. Maybe not the most important place, but it seems to center where I'm doing my shipping. So this run out of here, I've got a 4, 5, 6, make it a 5. 5's a good roll, I don't mind that. And we make it easily. So everything's going to be delivered, and that's a lot of tobacco that's coming in. I got like 3 tobacco being shipped in this time. when I include this one. I'm going to deliver this back at Santiago de Cuba. That spreads my risk out, because I'll be at 3 different external ports. And the next turn, if I get lucky, and I may not, I've got that the black market bonus, this hidden inlet, where, you know, I can maybe deliver all my black market goods, right? No, it's only one ship that's able to take advantage of it, but I can take advantage with my big two hauler ship. I cheated. I think red kept a little red square here because I saw blue had a red square, and now yellow has a red square. And I kind of remember blue and yellow being the ones who delivered. Oh well, you know, I gave an extra turn to somebody. So red also is, or yellow is also going to get 5 actions. Oops. It's the standard load, move, unload, 3 actions there. With the extra action, it kind of sucks because I would like to be able to do something else. And this might be the problem I have here. These guys, I can land in 2 separate places, but so I could land over here in Franklin in the Ann, or we could land them both in Memphis. It's equally defensive. But basically, I have a load. I can pick up a couple black market here. I've got this card that lets me upgrade a ship, and I was considering playing that on the Jenny to get it a little faster. But either way, well, if I didn't do that, then I move and I get into, mobile looks pretty good actually. I get into mobile, I sell my goods, that's 3 actions. I could buy more goods and pick up these cotton, and now I've got an extra action. And that's the problem. If I don't get another card that I want to play, I could play the Running Tide, but I think this is not the turn to upgrade because I can pick up more goods after I make my run. So the upgrade's kind of cool because it comes for free. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to load, and we're going to buy 2 of these for 10,000 bucks. Make it 12,000 bucks. No, nothing to rail down there. And let me mark that on a calculator. I got enough cash to cover that, so I've spent 12. Now I ship. Now I don't really have anything that can help me with mobile, so I'm going to take my shots, and I don't have anything that can help me with this, although this is the more important. I'm going to take my shots going through. So this guy's going to go out. He's a 4. He needs 3s or less. Okay, he makes it, and he's going through here. I just don't want to knock my little smokestacks off. These guys are both going into mobile. This guy's a 5, the Memphis, and he easily makes it in. Oops, there goes his stack. And the Ann is only a 4. And she gets in. And now we're going to be selling 2 black market goods. Yeah, they're only at 12 each, but still. And, you know, not as good a deal as, say, tobacco even. But it's the best deal I can make in this direction. And we got a couple of cotton. And now we've spent pick up, move, drop off. Now we can pick up again and move again and be in position for another drop off. Luck ran out for the Jenny. She was sliding into Galveston and got caught. Cargo's lost. Wouldn't have been able to deliver it this turn. I've got insurance though, and the Jenny seems like a good choice to get that insurance for. So we'll give 15,000 bucks to cover the cost of the Jenny. But that's a real shame. You don't want to lose ships in this game. And now I've got other runs here that have to make it out. They're trying to make it out of here to get the cotton over to Havana. 5-4. Yeah, we lost another ship. The world's getting tougher, and you may not actually want to start to keep delivering, right? There goes the Anne. I get nothing for her. She wasn't worth much, though. Put that here. Yeah, the insurance is gone. And now let's see if this thing can get through. It's a 5, so it's got a good chance. But yellow's going to be going early soon. All right, and we slip out 1. And into Havana we go. We don't have an action left to drop that off, but we are carrying the goods. Looking a lot worse, though, over here for yellow. We failed to deliver war goods. We would have been one of the very few people actually delivering them. Alright, okay, let's see if we can get our zoom to work here. Okay, absolutely terrible turn for white. So first of all, they were in a position where they had to rail and felt they had to play a card. They played a card to improve the defenses at Pensacola so they could try to slip out. And the Wando, I think, was trying to get out of Pensacola. The New Orleans to try to get in, to get into into Mobile. The New Orleans to try to get out of Pensacola, and they both were hit. And that's the New Orleans with a pilot on it, so it was actually fairly fast. We got some really bad rolls. The only thing that survived was the Flora, and I don't have points left to sell my goods because I had to do a rail to pick up some extra cotton. Luckily, I didn't spend extra. I think I could have made $1 more if I had hauled tobacco instead with my railing, but I just didn't like the point behind that. But I picked up a big black market good that I didn't score, lost a bunch of money on that. And most importantly, though, I'm losing my 2 best ships. It's $27,000 worth of ships. I got no insurance, nothing to go on. And as you can see, the guy who started out poorly, he's not doing that well. But other people are being forced to take risks. Now, as people start dropping off and getting into terrible shape, like poor White here, well, basically, as you fail, you become not a threat to the other people. So maybe the need to take risks starts decreasing. The goal for the people who are in the lead now may become just try to maintain that lead. The problem is not everyone, there's still a significant number of players who are doing pretty well. White's doing pretty well, black's doing fairly well, and blue is doing pretty well. I think everyone else has taken some significant hits. Yellow's somewhere in the back, somewhere in the middle of the pack. They only have the 1 ship left, but they had an insurance, so they have a decent amount of money on one of the ships they lost. But, taking a loss of 2 ships is pretty damn harsh in this game. That's going to be tough to overcome. And that puts us to the end of 63, going into 64. And we're still not seeing any war goods come in. And that's got to be sort of the historical result, given and maybe not early in the game, but early in the game you don't have the cash to haul the black market goods. But later in the game, it does drive sort of the historical result, because otherwise you wouldn't see so many things getting conquered, and the Union would kind of lose the war. I think it's a little disingenuous to try to say that, well, it was the blockade runners not hauling war goods that was the real issue. But it provides the narrative that you want from the game in terms of the historical, even if it doesn't give you the correct rationale for it. Because I don't think any players are going to haul war goods as their primary goal. in general. I think you're going to haul black market to whatever extent you can afford. I don't know how much good it does people who are doing kind of poorly to start, or well or whatever, to start kind of trying to pad the Confederacy. I guess people who are doing well might want to be hauling ore goods at this point to maintain their lead, in the sense that they can still keep making money. But on the other hand, they could just keep their ships in port and not take risks, which might be even better. All right, let's load this one up. And I thought we'd only have one more video, but I'm trying to cover a lot of the activity going on here. I think there's a lot of neat little decision making going on.